What's his name and what does it mean? In our Sunday morning groups, we're going to spend a few weeks again looking into the names given to Jesus in the prophecy from Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 6. Today we're going to look at the next two names in the list from this prophecy, Mighty God and Everlasting Father. Reading one more time, Isaiah 9:6 says this, "For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, and Prince of Peace." Remember, this prophecy is pointing to Jesus Christ. So to call Jesus Mighty God was no small thing. Jesus being God was a big point of conflict early on in his ministry. The scribes and Pharisees called it blasphemy, and he was ultimately killed over something like this. So when Isaiah called Jesus Mighty God, that meant something way bigger and more significant than we might have understood right away. Jesus doesn't back off this either. He actually doubled down on it multiple times, but the clearest example we see is in John chapter 10 and verse 30, where Jesus said, "I and the Father are one." Those are life-altering and universe-shifting words. Jesus is not just Mighty God, he's also Everlasting Father. There's another name for God, El Olam, where El is a common name for a deity and Olam refers to the infiniteness of time. Basically, the name is El Olam and it means the everlasting God. God greater than any earthly king will reign forever and ever with no beginning or end. One theologian said, "There's never been a moment when God did not exist." Psalm chapter 90 verses 1 through 4 say, "Lord, you have been our dwelling place in all generations. Before the mountains were brought forth, or ever you had formed the earth and the world, from everlasting to everlasting, you are God. You return man to dust and say, 'Return, O children of man, for 1,000 years in your sight are but as yesterday when it is past, or as a watch in the night.'" This verse highlights the temporary nature of humanity and the eternal nature of God. One scholar said, "We live for a moment, but God exists in his fullness, always and forever." What we must understand is that God doesn't just see the bigger picture. He's sovereign. His plan was, is, and will always be better than your plan or mine. As we look to Jesus as our mighty God and everlasting Father, may we remember with humility our place in this as God's children. John 1:12 is a great place to go, "But to all who did receive him, who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God." What a beautiful gift that is, to be called God's children. Our hope and prayer for you is that you would receive him, that you would believe in his name and experience the wonder, the joy, the struggle, and the beauty of being a child of God. Thanks for joining us this week as we unpack another of God's names and spend a little bit of time trying to understand what that means so we might expand our view of who God is. We look forward to joining together again as we continue to ask the question, what is his name and what does it mean?